Hey guys, welcome. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining me. My name's Roxanne and welcome to my channel. If you are not new, thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate you clicking on the video. So I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about a couple of new Morphe products that just came out. I love Morphe. I think that they're a super affordable brand. It's really neat when you can find a really good quality makeup brand for inexpensive. So I picked up the 8L. This is the Lo-Fi Highlight Contouring Palette. And then I picked up one of the blush trios. This was $25 and this was $12. And then I also picked up a couple of brushes along with their new makeup setting spray. I did go ahead and try it out just to see if the way that it sprays was something that I liked, because I'm very particular about my setting sprays and how the spritz comes out. So I really wanted to try that, and it is like an aerosol can. First of all, I have to tell you guys. So before we get started, you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell at the same time. I know YouTube is having a big problem right now with the algorithm and not showing my videos in the recommended part of YouTube. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. It would mean so much to me and helps my channel out. Yeah, when you become a part of the Edgy fam, you have to know when I upload a video. Also, you guys, make sure you give me a thumbs up for this video. I would really appreciate that as well. I also want to know in the comments down below if you guys are going to purchase either of these products. If you have already, if you're, considering it, let me know in the comments what you're most interested in that Morphe has just released. I really want to know your thoughts on Morphe themselves as a brand, and then also what products you were interested in picking up. So first things first, you have the highlight and contour palette. This is the Lo-Fi 8L. This is the kind of the lighter version, I guess you could say, for lighter skin tones. I really liked the deepness of the 8H, I believe, but I didn't pick that one up because I thought it would be a little too deep for me. So this is a mirror, which I really love, and it's a huge mirror, so that makes me so happy. Okay, so it comes with 4 contour shades, or I guess 4 bronzing and contour shades, and then 4 of your highlighters, and I think for $25 that's a really good price. Something interesting I found though when I was shopping for this is I couldn't decide between getting a duo and getting this palette, and by the duo I mean like the bronzer duos and then a separate highlighter. But I did some research and it turns out that some of the duo shades are actually in these palettes, as well as some of the highlighters. So I went ahead and purchased the palette just because it made more sense to me, since the duos they have in the bronzers are in this palette, as are some of the highlighters. So it just made more sense to me to purchase the entire palette. Anyway, let's go ahead first and talk about the contour shades. So I will go ahead and insert some swatches here as we talk, and then that way you guys can kind of see how they perform and how they look. So you have the Literati, which is one of the lightest shades here. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for, but I'm really glad that it came with a lighter bronzer shade, because I've always wanted kind of a less deep contour shade, bronzer shade, just if I wanted to do some work like doing some dimension on my face. I'm really glad that they put Literati in there. It makes me kind of makes me push myself to experience more with contour colors. And then you have the shade Enemy. Both of these are in the duos, so keep that in mind when you're deciding between the duo bronzers and then the separate highlighters and these palettes, because you're going to find most of these shades in the duos as well. So Enemy right here is just a really deep terracotta red, really beautiful shade. And then you have Debutante right here, which is more of like a brown, like a brick brown actual bronzing shade. And then you have more of a cooler tone contour shade, which is Donut. This is the only one I could not find in those duos. 3 of the 4 are, which is a really good kind of ratio. I really like Donut to contour. I use this today to do my nose, as you guys will see in the clip, but this is just a really pretty cool tone shade. Next, you have the highlight shades. The top 2 are ones in their separate highlighters that they sell. You have the shade Lit right here, which is an actual highlighter that they sell. And then you have this shade right here, which is Stardust, and this is the same kind of idea. They do have this in the highlight shades as well. Down here, these are the only 2 that they don't sell in the highlight shades that are separate from this palette, but they're very similar to the one that's deeper than these 2. But it's kind of in between these 2 shades. It's a little more peachy, the one that I was swatching in Ulta, but these are very similar to the one next up from these 2 shades. but these are actual single highlighters from Morphe. This is a really pretty deep yellow shade. I like the way that this came off on my skin. I thought it was really beautiful mixed in with Stardust. I used both of these in my inner corner and then both of these on the high points of my cheek and my nose. I also mixed some of these on the high points of my cheek as well. So I kind of used all of the highlighters, and I was really happy I did because the outcome was really, really stunning. I was really pleased with the way the highlighters performed as well as the way the contour shades performed. I think they both did a really good job at the application. So at first, you guys, when I applied Debutante to my cheekbones, I was a little worried that it was coming off muddy. It's something that I'm always worried about with contour palettes like these. I didn't get a chance to use Enemy because it looks a little bit more red or a little too deep for my skin tone. However, I may try to mix it with this shade right here, which is Debutante, and just kind of see what the outcome is. I also could mix it a little bit with Donut since it's a little cooler, but I just kind of want to see what they both would look like. But I tried most of them in my little demo for you all. All in all, you guys, I really like this palette. It wasn't muddy. Again, that's what I'm always kind of worried about when I do contour with the actual contour palette rather than a single bronzer. But I really did like the way that these performed. I thought they blended out remarkably well. I was able to use my Hourglass powder to really blend them out nicely, and it looks very neutral. Like, I was very pleased because sometimes when I bronze with certain powders, it becomes overbearing and it's a little too dark and a little too warm. But I liked the way these blended out, and it just made my face look very warmed up. You know, it made it look very sun-kissed and like I had a nice glow. These I really liked as well. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think they were going to have as much pigment as they did, because when I swatched them in the store, they didn't perform as well as I wanted them to. When I played with them this morning, they actually performed quite well. So I'm really, really surprised by these, and it makes me really happy that they did perform so well. I know that those swatches are not as pigmented as other contour palettes are, and I do, you know, I give that point. I don't discredit that point. But for $25, the way that these performed on the face surprised me compared to how they swatched. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they swatched amazingly, because I know that they didn't, and I just used one finger swipe on each of them because I really wanted to see the first application of a swatch. But I did really feel that the way they performed on the face definitely outweighed the swatches. So keep that in mind when you are going to purchase this palette, that you watch the demo more than you watch the swatches on my fingers and my arm, because sometimes that can kind of trick you a little bit. So keep that in mind. All right, next, really quickly, I just wanted to talk about the Morphe Blush Trio. I picked up the color, I guess the shades Pop of Rose. You get 3 different shades, and you get 1 shimmer and 2 mattes as a mirror again. And I really like the different tones in these palettes. You have kind of like a terracotta here, or like a berry, a light pink, and then a shimmery pink, I believe, right here in the middle. I really don't like that Morphe just came out with pink shades. I think that so many other people really wanted the corals over the pinks, because I really actually liked this palette a lot. I feel like the shades performed really well. They were very pigmented. As you guys can see in the demo, they came off really well on the cheeks, and they blended in well with the highlight and with the contour. So I'll go ahead and insert some swatches of this now so you guys can see the way that they pay off. Okay, you guys, so obviously based on the swatches, you can tell that these did swatch a little bit better than the contour palette, but I liked them both the same. I feel like they performed very well. I also like the fact that these blushes are easily blendable, because sometimes you put a blush down on your face, you get a little bit too much, and you can't blend it out. I found that today when I was putting this blush on, I used this shade right here. So this is the shade Legendary, and I put a little bit too much on it first. I took some of my Hourglass Veil powder and I kind of buffed it in, and it looked really, really beautiful. And you can see now that there's still pigment left at the end of the day. It's incredibly late right now. It's like almost 11 o'clock. This next shade is called Driven. It's just a really pretty sparkly pink. It is a little bit too pink for my taste, but I may try to wear it, you know? And then you have Hustle, which I think is my favorite shade. It is very, very deep. I think if you use this with a light hand, it would be really pretty. If anything, it would be beautiful in the crease. I really think that these 2 items are remarkable for the cost as well as the application, the way they perform. I really, really do like this new palette. I didn't think I would, because I really don't like contour palettes. I don't think they perform well on my skin, but this one performed really, really well, and the blushes were absolutely beautiful. So really quickly, let's talk about the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I already told you in the beginning that this reminds me of an aerosol hairspray can. Ooh, and it comes out like aerosol hairspray. It smells really good. I don't know what is in it that smells so good, but it is really, really, really good. And it's $15, which is a little pricey for a setting spray if you ask me. This was the only thing I was like, do I really need that? So 15 bucks, you know, I probably would have paid 10, but 15 is a little high. You do get 2.8 fluid ounces in here, which is why I think they did price it at $15. And then it just says, continuous setting mist, defend your artistry. A microfine mist sets liquid or powder makeup with a radiant finish. A continuous air-powered spray delivers even and controlled application. And then it says, hold the bottle to 8 to 10 inches away from face, close your eyes, and apply mist all over your face. So I love the spray. I think it smells good. The mist is a little bit too much for me, but as far as it setting my makeup, I think it did a really good job at doing so. I had a really good makeup day today. I was very impressed with how like neutral and glowy my face looked because of all of this makeup. I think I was really a fan of all 3 of these things together. Yeah, you guys, that's all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this little mini demo swatch review. I feel like I did pretty good all in all. I like all of them. I'm going to try them out a little bit longer just to make sure that that is true and accurate. That's all I have, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know in the comments if you are interested in purchasing any of these products, or what your thoughts are on the new Morphe launches. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really do appreciate it. Take care and take care of each other, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!